Hello, everyone. This is Scratch and Jack, your host for the Amazing Scale Modelers Across the Pond Hangout. Discombobulated because I told everyone I was learning Canadian. That's kind of fun. And Amazing Scale Modelers is a Google Plus community of scale modelers of all shapes and sizes, interests, genres, and skill levels who like to share their tips and tricks with one another, learn more about their craft, and to celebrate one another's scale modeling achievements. Amazing Scale Modelers is perhaps the fastest growing or the largest existing all-around scale modeling community. I haven't even looked. Has anybody looked as to see what your numbers are? Not that it matters. Okay, that's reloading itself. And Carwin will be here in 2 minutes.
Okay.
That's a news. I don't even know. Can't even bring up the, well, anyway, we'll find out what the numbers are. Today we have joining us scale modelers of all shapes and sizes. If you looked at the bottom of your screen, you can see there are all kinds of shapes on there. So I'd like to start introducing them, and thank goodness. Hi, Bob.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you doing today?
Oh, well, it's still yesterday, so a little tired, but I've got my shampoo bottle in space.
Ooh, shampoo bottle in space, nice. Oh, that's really cool.
Ready to, as soon as it warms up a little bit, I'll get the primer on it.
Oh, that's a good one to light. I would love to light that one.
And we're started on my GB overnight here tonight.
Oh, nice.
I always think that aircraft looks like a cartoon as opposed to a real aircraft.
Yeah. And it's really an engine with wings.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what they did. They just took the biggest engine around and tried to put the minimum amount of wings and fuselage on it.
Yeah.
Like think, but just God tried to turn the thing.
James, put a note. Write down a note for learn British. Okay. Or learn English. Learn some English, huh? It's okay,
Yeah.
Bob. Is that it?
That's all I got today.
Oh wow, that's short and sweet.
Yeah.
How you doing, James?
Oh, I'm doing fine there, Jack.
I'm certainly aware that the community is tank crazy because when you start building a paper tank, that's true. A match is no match to a match is what that is. Okay.
Yeah. Well, my little Sherman is slowly coming around.
Look at that. Really cool. Really cool.
Already did some scratching and upgrades to the kit from what was supplied to more accurize it. So it's coming.
There's parts of that, except for the bits of white where the paper shows through. It looks like any plastic kit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like there's things missing, like the tow hooks on the front of the chassis were not with the kit, and they're a pretty prominent feature when you look at it nose on, and so I had to add those. And the design of the gun cradle as supplied with the kit was just so wrong. It was just so wrong. I just couldn't leave it. So it had to be redesigned.
That looks very plastic. It looks very plastic. It looks like a plastic kit. You do so well at putting those parts together. Very nice. That is so cool.
So that's what I'm working on now.
How much longer? Does it look like a very involved project, unlike the Millennium Falcon?
No, it's a lot quicker moving along. Probably. I've just got the bogies to build along the back. Probably a couple weeks, and this will be done.
Oh, wow. That is really good.
So this is a fairly quick build.
How are the tracks made on that, James?
The tracks are... They're like a strip track.
Oh, okay, you don't have to fold up each individual.
Well,
okay.
No, well, there are two sections that get glued together, but the thing that's going to be the killer is the treads.
Uh-huh.
Do. I
Oh,
got to cut each of those individually out,
oh my
and
God.
then glue them in place.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to take a little bit.
Uh-huh. I don't know where Phil went. Maybe he had to pass gas or something. Huh. Anyway, moving along. Hi, Carwin.
Hello. How's it going, Jack?
Okay. When I get to my point section, I'll let you know. But I'm good so far. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not a great deal. I finished off the TARDIS model. That's done and dusted and gone.
Yep.
So that's I'm happy about that.
Uh-huh.
And I'm working on a next generation tricorder.
Ooh. Okay.
So that's it's currently in pieces. So it's all been gutted and ready for upgrade. So I'm working on the light circuit for it as well.
Uh-huh.
So yesterday I spent 7 hours programming a chip.
Uh-huh.
And it's still not right. It's at that point where you're looking at the code and you're just going, if I don't get away from this computer now, it's going through that window.
That's why I call it Windows.
Yeah, that's right, exactly, because they end up going up to the bloody things.
You were saying it was having a mind of its own. Yeah.
Oh, it's honestly, because you'd enter part of the code and then you'd make an alteration to the end of the code, and you think logically, you work it through and you go right then. So that bit of code works. So I'm just going to add this, and the second you add that, it does something completely different. So it was like, yeah, but I mean, it's looking pretty good now, and I'm hoping I'll get the code finished off today, and then I can start installing the lights and everything into the tricorder. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. So that's it. But as I'm starting to take it apart, and you can see I've modified the AB selector switch there, so that it's flush, unlike what it is when you originally have it. It's got this really awful sort of molded fake wheel in there, which is not supposed to have. Plus, I can't rag on Playmates for it, because for the price of it and for what you get, I know it's inaccurate, but first of all, they're not a model building company, and second of all, it's not that far out. If you compare it to the prop, it's really not that far out. I think there may be a size issue, but overall, I don't think it's too far away.
Yeah, it actually looks kind of cool. I mean, you're taking a toy and making it better. That's always better, always good. You just started that not too long ago. How long have you been working on this so far? Since Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday. I've done a little bit. Yes. Yesterday was again the code for the circuit, but it's some of it's really easy to do. Some of it's takes only a little bit of time, but other things then it's the figuring it out. Once you start putting electronics in it, it's like anything else. Once you start putting electronics in it.
I think for me it's more like figuring out, why am I putting myself through all this trouble?
Yeah. It does happen, but yeah, the second you start putting electronics in something and you've changed it from what it was, you have to throw the rule book out and just come up with your own rules.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, sorry, Jack.
Yeah, so that's that, huh?
Well, yeah, that's the tricorder, but also I've been doing a bit more to the nightclub. Not a great deal. I've just been cutting struts and things like that just for the outside. And then I've done. I'll just show you this. This is it's difficult to see with the light on.
If you can't go to a nightclub, build one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So let me just show you this. This was just a quick test to make sure that I was doing it the right way. And what it's for is for one of the external signs for the nightclub. and this is just a test, just to put on a lot of different shapes. I don't know if you can see that. Right. So that's the knock this light off. So you can see. So that looks like that, and then I'm going to be illuminating it from the side, which makes it look like that.
That is so cool.
So
really cool.
Nice.
But this is I just done a load of different shapes in there just so I can see how the light reacts through it.
Sure.
So
looks like it's reacting just fine.
Yeah, but I did it because when you do it from the, it looks pretty good from the bottom as well. So it's. So yeah, but I'm gonna be side lighting it because it's gonna be on the front of the nightclub.
Okay, what did you say that material is?
This is acrylic. This is used for greenhouses.
Oh,
It's a polyester acrylic, and it's basically it's the stuff you go to garden centres and whatever and buy this stuff in sheets of. I think they come in like 6 foot by 3 foot.
Oh wow!
And they for building greenhouses, but it's such a malleable material. It's so easy to cut. I don't use a saw for this. I just use my Stanley knife. Just cut it with a Stanley knife, and it's just like a thicker version of styrene.
Or plexiglass or styrene?
No. It's not as strong as plexiglass, but it's more malleable.
Okay.
So it's really good stuff.
I would think vinyl would be more malleable, more flexible, and easier to cut. I'd say. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but it's like I said, you don't have to use a saw with it. You can use a knife, and it'll just cut straight through it.
Very cool. Wow,
so,
that's something to keep in mind. I mean, you can do a lot with that idea.
Well, exactly. I mean, the thing is, if you because I paid, I think it was £12 for a sheet.
American dollars, that's about $22, $23, $22.
Not the current exchange rate. The current exchange rate, which is about 1.4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's dropped dramatically.
Oh, okay. Probably less than $20.
Well, not even that. Probably about 17.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And you get you can get a 6 foot by 3 foot sheet, and that'll last you for a long time.
Oh.
So it's a good mobility material, and it's cheap.
Moving on to the other side of the island, how you doing, Randall?
Not too bad, Jack. Working away here. Actually, I've seen you doing more modelling during Hangouts than I actually do at any other time. But,
yeah. I know what that's like. I'm doing overtime too. And not modeling either.
Still working away at the out of the comfort zone builds. The Lotus is coming on slowly but surely. Actually, it seemed to have slowed down since you put a deadline on it, but there you go.
Yeah. Do you know one of those drove past me last week? I was like, damn, Randall, he's put a curse on me now. They're going to be following me around. I haven't seen one in like 20 years. The second you start doing that kit, there's like one right by me in the traffic lights.
This be a start and then start looking out for Thunderbird 4 because I'm also working away at that as well.
If that happens, I'm going to be sending you pictures.
Stuff for the blinkies on Thunderbird 4's dash.
Nice.
This was just sort of put together as a test to see if the thing actually worked, or rather, more to the point, if my soldering actually worked. And then I'll be replacing the red LEDs on this with white ones, and then I'll be doing the individual colours on the dashboard with Tamiya clear paints.
Was that a kit from, say, like a Maplins or something?
Yep, it's Maplin's dual flasher kit. Can't remember the name of it.
I think you might have a problem replacing those for white because I think it doesn't carry enough milliamps. You might be okay with blue and green, but I don't know about white. You might want to do a test.
I might change one of them for a green, maybe. And then,
yeah, you might want to do a test because I've got a similar kit which I bought, and there's not enough milliamps going through the board to power white LEDs.
Well, you also know too that the red LEDs take a lot less milliamps than the other colors do. So.
Yeah. This is
So
about
I
half.
found that out the hard way. I wired up a model and put like red, green, blue, and the red was burnt out.
Well, the other thing is that the red is 2.2 volts across, and the whites are 3.2. So it's another volt more. So if the voltage is not high enough, they won't fire the white light.
Right. I would even far as to say the red ones would be even less. Some red ones are even less than 2.2, like 2.8.
Yeah. I think you can get them done as low as 1.4, I think.
And LED things.
Yeah, so I think red is good.
I can change the flash rate on the thing.
Yeah, I've got a similar. I've got a very similar board. Here you go. I think it might be the same one.
Carlin.
There you go.
Where do you get that kit?
Oh wow.
Yep, that's the same one.
Yeah. You try changing the red off there to white, and it doesn't power it.
Oh well. Okay, that's an idea shot out the window.
Is there a maximum voltage to that circuit board?
Get it at 9 volts.
Okay.
Yeah.
It comes with these wee battery connectors here.
Yep. You know, you might be able to change. I tell you what you could do. There's two resistors on either side of the board, and you could change them for 4 cent the ohm.
Yeah, change the series resistor. Lower.
Yeah, those two on the outside there.
Yeah.
I think if you change those for 4 cent the ohm, I think that might work.
Yeah.
It may catch fire.
It'll work or you let the magic smoke out.
It may turn inside out, then explode.
These Gary Anderson craft tend to explode rather spectacularly, so we're going to be keeping in with that.
The neat trick, but you can only do it once.
Yeah.
Gets a bit expensive after the third or fourth model.
So make sure you're filming it.
Let's just go down the road to Wayne. How you doing, Wayne?
Alright. So I'm just doing my posting.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to be done so too.
This is my first scratch-built diorama board.
Nice.
Doing.
Nice. Is it scratch? I mean, is it scratch built if you buy yourself a plaque? But no, you're.
This is what I finished off my dad, which I used his new circular laser guided saw on it.
I
spray painted it black, and my dad didn't know I used his new saw yet. So.
Oh.
But now that it's on live on YouTube, you'll probably find out now.
So it's a laser guided saw.
It's got like when you switch it on, it's got like a laser tip where you can cut in a straight line. So I've got
which build did you say this is for?
Some pamphlet which.
Okay.
I'm just adding stuff to it.
Everybody's tank crazy.
I've even got the ticket on.
Oh, that is so cool. Even dangles there.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So I've got some of this ready-made wood pigment stuff. And I've got my not so illegal grass.
How much did that run you?
Well, that's £4.95, and that's £1.95.
That's cheap for a bag of grass in the States.
He's got way more than an ounce there.
There was no drug reference to that. None whatsoever.
In one sentence.
Hold on there. Hold on. Okay.
That's my first on my fury tank.
It's your
So,
Sherman.
yeah. Same as what James is building, but he's doing it in carbon. I'm doing it in plastic. What I've done with that so far is I've primed it with MIG primer, which is not very good. Then I've sprayed it black.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully I shall get the camouflage on today.
Yeah.
Oh, who's watching TV? Somebody's watching
it's
TV.
me. I've got my phone on. I've got some comedy downloaded on my phone.
What are you watching?
No, it's listening to. I found old episodes of the Navy Lark.
Oh, right. Oh, John Kirby.
Yeah. And Leslie Phillips. So
Yeah.
I've got a couple of hundred, about 200 episodes I downloaded the other day.
To back across the pond there, we're just a shout out to Liam. We're thinking about you, and I hope your visit to your daughter is a good one. So we have nothing right now to balance out all these guys here on that side of the pond. But certainly we miss you. So moving on back to stateside, we have Lou. How you doing, Lou?
Good morning. I'm doing wonderfully. How is everybody?
I'm doing very good, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Doing well.
That's good.
So what do you got to show off there, mister?
Well, my out of the comfort build is...
Yes. Nice.
the Batmobile.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Is that kit readily available now?
No, not yet. Any minute now.
So cool. So cool. That's the more recent one. That was the one that went down the streets of Pittsburgh. That's exactly the one that went down the street of Pittsburgh. I seen it in real life. The thing is freaking enormous.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know they were filming in Pittsburgh.
They filmed the last one in Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Well, but this is from Batman Superman.
Oh, okay. Never you mind.
That was filmed in Toronto.
That was filmed in Toronto, but the one before that.
That was the Tumbler.
Yes, and what's interesting about that scene where there was a chase scene, I'd say at that speed you can probably get down that street in about a minute and a half, and they made it to look like a half an hour long. I thought that was pretty ingenious.
Yeah.
And I remember they made the whole street wintered. It was like the middle of the summer. It was like August, and they made it look like it was cold. It was actually pretty cool seeing it in person.
I remember seeing a picture of that where they, with the snow machines going to make the street look like it was in the winter.
Well, I think you would know the street, Smithfield Street.
Yeah. That's why I was interested, because of having spent time there.
Yeah, and that's where the department stores used to be.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going to give directions now. Now, you just go downtown to where all that department stores used to be, and you'll find out.
Yeah.
Well, that's how Pittsburghers give directions.
Remember where Homer's used to be? Go there.
It's quite funny that you've seen them using Pittsburgh to stand in for Gotham, Jack. We were in Glasgow a couple of years ago, and they were using it to stand in for Pittsburgh in World War Z. Or sorry, Z.
That would be closer to the truth, actually. But just like in model making, the movie magic really fools you thinking it's a different place. And when I was watching that chase scene, I was looking very closely at the background, and I recognized the background perfectly well.
Yeah.
And then there was a fist fight scene in the movie, too, and that was in front of Carnegie Mellon University's Technological Center.
Well, fights there are nothing new.
It's just interesting to see. It's interesting to see as a Pittsburgher that there's this fictional place and it's actually our hometown. And as it turns out, that this coming year there's going to be 6 movies, and they're trying for another TV series.
Wow, good for you.
Is it really good though when you're standing in for a rundown, beat-up city?
Well, it's interesting you'd say that. Pittsburgh isn't as run down as you think.
Yeah, they have to go to Detroit for that now.
Yeah.
When they do Swamp Thing.
Well, yeah, no, as far as the Rust Belt cities go, Pittsburgh was successful and recovering from the 80s when the steel industry had collapsed. But anyhow, I
Go back
have.
to modeling.
There you go. Oh, that is so cool. That looks like that reminds me of oh hell, what is that candy company? Has a crown
Oh yeah,
motif.
the
What,
crown.
Feeler?
That's it. That's
Oh, yeah.
it.
Feeler?
Feeler, right? Feeler. Nice. And what is that?
This is the derelict from Lost in Space.
Yeah, from the original series, from the first
The
episode.
second episode.
A derelict.
Yeah, there's a tiny. There's a tiny Jupiter 2 that goes with this kit. So it's about. Let's see, camera. There you go. It's about that big. And the Jupiter flies around this derelict, and they're hoping to find star charts.
I don't remember that. Well, then again, I'm not an aficionado of Lost in Space.
It's weird. It only ever showed up in one episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like what Monogram did. They did the Maquis ship out of Voyager, and it only showed
the Kazon torpedo was probably the worst.
the torpedo. There you go. The torpedo is even worse. Yeah. So is that it, Lou? Is that all you're working on? Aren't you working on more?
I've got this huge hopper here that I can't really bring over because it weighs.
I have to hand it to you that out of the comfort zone build, you did a car, your first car, and that would be a car. So what did you think of? Well, if I would encourage you to do a regular car, like maybe a Chevelle or a Mustang.
A regular car.
But that kit that is going to be coming out, say more about that.
Well, it goes together like a dream. There's only one bit about it, and that is, I don't know how well you could see, back in behind here, there are a number of pistons and shock absorbers for these wings, and you have to line them all up at the same time before you can attach the top wing to it, and it's a bit of a bug to do.
It's like hanging the top wing on a biplane.
Yeah.
The exhaust on the back of the car doesn't look very happy.
No, it's a sad exhaust.
Yeah,
Well, Batman is not a happy person.
No.
He's not going to have a smiling exhaust.
Oh, he doesn't look like he's too happy in the new movie, that's for sure.
No, he's
and Superman is really pissed off too. So what is this twerp doing? He thinks he's got superpowers? Come on.
I am cautiously optimistic. I hope the movie's as good as the model is.
Okay. It's just as good as the model is. Okay.
I hope so. That's a sweet looking little model.
That's a fair assessment. Now you're also getting ready to go to where?
In first week in April, I'll be heading out west to Steve Neal's garage.
And you're going to be delivering a model to DC of the Enterprise?
We're going out. I don't know exactly how we're going out, but we're coming back in a truck. And we are trucking back his Enterprise to come back to the DC Museum.
He says that it's going into his lounge.
What's that?
I said you said that, but it's going into your lounge.
Yeah, something could happen. I don't know. No, I'm supposed to be. I will be carrying a phaser. I will be armed guard for it. But no, we're bringing that back, and I've been told that we're also going to be stopping up by ILM and picking up some goodies from them as well. So that could be fun. It could be a fun trip. And I'm picking up my chair from Steve.
I'd love to be with you on that trip. Boy. Anyway, what is do you know the address of the Science Fiction Museum in DC?
I don't know that they've got one yet. They've got what they've got is a temporary museum. They're still gathering their resources and funding and all that for their permanent building.
I see, but
it's a traveling museum.
Oh, okay, it's a traveling museum. All right, very cool. Another museum to go to in D.C., and I think this one you're going to have to pay for because it's not going to be supported by your tax dollars. So
No, it's sort of like the Spy Museum. It's not a history. It's not what you would call a public good museum, like a World War II museum or a Holocaust museum or something like that. It's not as weighty as that.
well, it's probably going to be more of a memorabilia museum. Then.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to have important factual things in it, but it's less of a, it's not. I can't say it's not serious because it is, but it's not American history. It's not gowns of the Civil War. It's not weighty stuff. It's.
Oh, I mean, I can see that doing very well because just down from me, there's the Doctor Who exhibit,
Right.
and that's making money hand over fist. I mean, I know they've got some of the sets there and things like that.
Right.
But I mean, because it's done by the BBC, but that is making money all the time. I mean, there are thousands of people in and out of that place all the time.
Am I willing to guess that your build of the call box is also inspired by what's there?
Of the one that I built.
Basically, do they have a call box there?
Do they have one?
Yes.
They've got like 6.
6. And was that any inspiration to you in building your call box?
No, I just used instructions. I just made my own.
That's a true modeler. How you doing, Phil?
I'm well. I'm just having a little bit of video and computer trouble at the moment. I know my bandwidth is all mucked up, so
It does look like that.
too well. But yeah, I'm fine.
You're fine, and you're building again.
Yep. Just doing a lighting test on the refit this morning. I just posted the video on the community.
Okay.
So that's going well.
I see that. You got the video there. All right. It's not too. It's pretty high on the, practically at the top. Your video. Cool. Cool. And I think you're a fine example for modelers is to get married and send your spouses away so you can model.
Yeah.
Is she doing well?
Yeah, she's fine. Actually, she just left. She's going to she's going to pistol training this morning.
Pistol training?
Yeah, she's a good all-round American girl. She loves her Second Amendment, so she's
She's out there about shooting her gun. All right.
Phil, I would worry about what she's going to plan with that suspiciously large box you've got coming.
It's okay. I discussed it with her first and showed her the picture.
No, I'm worried about what she's going to do with the box.
Oh gosh, yes. It'd be a good target, yeah.
Well, if you don't show up for a hangout, we'll know.
It wouldn't be the first time I've had to fill holes in styrene, so.
Excellent. And my out of comfort zone build is a tank as well, so I don't want to bore you all about it.
Like I put treads on something. I feel left out because none of my stuff has a tread on it.
Well, does the Batmobile have kind of like treads on their tires?
It's just got big fat tires. Maybe I'll put treads on the derelict.
Can I get put treads on this thing here?
Yeah, put treads on your look.
Well, I don't know why I picked the tank. I just thought, why not? And it turns out a lot of other people. But I'm going to show something. I hope it shows up on my camera that I discovered actually just today, which reminded me of a characteristic of paint. Now, when I was a kid in high school, we used to have these coffee filters, and we dipped them in India ink, and the coffee filter, of course, would absorb all the ink. And as the absorption gone through, it went through rainbows, meaning that the lighter elements went further and further up the filter, and you saw the different colors that the India ink was made out of. And I just discovered you can do the same thing, and the green that I'm using for my tank is just the primer, the Vallejo primer, olive drab. And I couldn't. I didn't do very much last week. I actually was in a hospital for a few hours because I had very bad abdominal pains. Turns out that the doctor diagnosed that you either have stress, you're dehydrated, or you have gas. And I think you all would agree I have a lot of gas.
You said it.
Long and short of it, I discovered something. I quickly painted the primer back on with a brush to give it some texture. That's what I did with the main body, and here the turret, I did the same thing too. And that was yesterday morning, and I kind of like missed a spot, so I pulled the brush out of the water jar and just went over it, and it turns out the same thing happened as the India ink. Let's see if this will...
Oh yeah.
So the paint separates as the water is drying out of it, because as the water is there, it lifts the lighter elements, which here are blue and darker green and black even. There's a yellow hint to it. And now I'm looking at this. This would be the perfect way to weather this thing. I'm not going back because I'll probably do the same thing and just do the grayscale weathering, just like on this. So I just thought I'd share that because that was a happy discovery and took me back to high school as to what we did in art class. What do you think, guys? Is that kind of cool?
Yeah. I like the idea, Jack, because it looks like now if you're in scale, and say that you're the maintenance crew on this tank, and you have to spray paint over some damage. You're going to get an in-scale spray can, and you're going to spray that spot, and that paint is not going to match the exact color of the rest of the tank.
That's true.
I think it's perfect.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a lesson, and I'm going to try it with regular paint because I'm sure regular paint will do the same thing. This is just primer, but really cool stuff that I just happened to come across yesterday when I was slapping paint on, or the primer back on it. So that's what I'm doing, and the due date, so to speak, the end date for our community build, which is out of your comfort zone, is going to be March 31st. So we have roughly a month left. And it would be nice if y'all posted your builds, whatever phase it's in, probably by the end of next month. That would be really cool. And if you haven't started, now's the time to start because you're running out of time. I can imagine. I've never built a tank before. The thing I found out about Tamiya and tanks, there's a lot of parts.
Yes.
That's been, in fact, just now I said, oh, there's this kind of odd looking thing on this turret here, and I look on the instructions, I'm like, okay, there's a little piece missing, because there was like a little dot where something would fit, and well, yeah, there's a part.
Always have more pieces than you need.
There's a part for that dot. That's also what I learned too. But it's been a lot of fun when I have been working on it. I scarcely have been, but I'll probably be done, and I'm going to do a motorcycle. That seems like it's going to be pretty quick of a build. But the next build is going to be space vehicles, mostly science fiction if you're into it. But space vehicles can include the LEM of the lunar lander. It could be rockets. Where's Don Gilchrist, by the way? He has a lot of rockets. So that's going to be our next one starting in April, going through June. Yeah, participate in this. Is actually very interesting. And I've been learning painting techniques, weathering techniques, either happy accidents or by listening to you guys talk about your builds. So
no, we don't know nothing. We're just making it up.
Making it up as you go along. Well, pretty much that's how modeling goes. You do make it up along the way. And happy. Okay, here is something.
Let's talk to James about how he paints his models.
Yeah.
Well, you're the paint monkey there, Mr. Lou.
James paints all of his models while the paper is still flat.
Yeah.
then he folds it.
Where the real trick is that what it is, the plastic kits, but he's painting them to make them look like paper.
Yeah. He scrapes all of the paint off of the paper. He starts with black paper and he scrapes it down to white.
Phil dropped out again, but I'm going to screen share some of Phil's work. that he posted, and he lives in a regular house, and he likes to build large.
Oh yes.
There you have the Missouri. I think it's the aircraft carrier.
That's the Hornet there.
That's a
That's the
Hornet.
Hornet, yeah.
I love how he does his water. I love how he does his water.
Oh, no, we don't want to go there yet. We don't want to go there yet. So there we go. His water is pretty awesome. He did his PT boat.
Man, he is good.
Yeah, that breakwater looks fantastic. Doesn't it, on those waves?
It's really cool. And then he's got some smoke coming out of a gun there, or a cannon.
Just a torpedo firing.
Torpedo launch, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there's a torpedo right there.
Yeah.
That's not close enough. But yeah, his water is really good. Really good stuff. Wow. Okay. And he's going to. I think he had a black Enterprise, but he's working on his 350 scale.
Yeah.
Don't be racist.
Oh. It looks like he's burning it.
Well, on the video that he done of the lightning effect, he's got this really, really cool light ripple going down the warp engine.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked. I've never seen anybody do that.
Oh, I haven't seen pictures of that, but I don't know what this is. This is like a Japanese thing that everybody's aware of except for Jack.
Yeah, that's the Arcadia from Captain Harlock. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. The Japanese make their spaceships look like submarines.
Or battleships.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they take the whole ship idea and make it a space ship.
Yeah.
It's it's.
That one looks like it has like a pirate, an old pirate.
It's got a galleon on the back.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, the Esmeralda is similar. Yeah.
I tell you what it sort of reminds me of. Remember Firefly? You know the Reavers ships?
Yeah.
I think it's got that sort of aesthetic to it. I think you could convert one of those into a Reaver ship very easily.
I think the back of it looks like it's made out of space wood.
Yeah.
Yeah, that vacuum resistant wood.
But what are the sides of the trees those came from? Because those look like planks.
Space trees.
We have a skilled modeler in a community, Mark Dunmore, who's awesome, and he built a speeder bike that was produced by a sponsor of the community, Wild House Models. Thank you, Neil, for doing what you do. And gotta say, this is actually pretty cool. I didn't expect it to turn out this well. I mean, it does look original and yet familiar from the Star Wars speeder bikes. This looks much cooler, I think.
Yeah, it looks better than Ray's speeder bike and the new Star Wars movie, certainly.
Right.
I hope there's a hefty kickstand for it, though. Stabilizer wings.
Yep. Yeah, that's actually pretty cool, and I don't think it would pass any safety regulation in the States for sure.
No. The front impact on that would be lousy.
There's no seatbelt.
No,
you know what? One time,
I want easy access. I want to be able to get out of that thing.
Years ago, when I started motorcycling, there was somebody that's when a law was passed that people in cars have to wear seatbelts. And somebody said they should put seatbelts on motorcycles. I said, well, if a motorcycle is going down, you don't want to be anywhere near it. Why would you put a seatbelt on it?
You want to be thrown clear.
Yeah, but that's really cool. What Neil's doing. I wish I can have the time and the energy to participate more on bringing some of that stuff over here stateside.
I wish somebody would do like a build. I mean, they've got a great number of really neat model kits. I would like to see them like all combined in one spot.
Yeah,
I think the other thing that's good about what Neil's doing is that he's actually coming up with his own universe.
Yeah.
It's not just that he's doing one or two kits. He's coming up with there's an entire story there for the universe.
The backstory is interesting.
Yeah, so I think it's great, and it's leaving him open for almost unlimited progress. There's nothing holding him back now. He can do pretty much anything, take it anywhere, and you're only going to be able to see this thing expand.
Yeah, he told me that there is a story behind all of this, and one of the reasons what he wanted to do was create a story, wanted to produce models. That's what he's digging and into. And he didn't want to pay royalties, and I thought that was very interesting. So, mother of all invention is of course the need to do something that you want, so you don't have to pay. Oh, never mind. Anyway, I'd like to know more about that story. Do you know what the premise of the story is, Carwin?
I'm not really sure. I've looked into a little bit of it, but the first thing that he'd done was the cryopod. And that was dealing with a crash landing on a hostile surface.
Yeah, this is the
cryo chamber. Yeah,
he's sent me a kit and it's coming apart. It's probably more like what I'm trying to do here because I got a nice oil leak and everything.
Yeah.
And I did put the lighting kit in this, but I don't have an adapter to light it up. It takes about 3 volts.
Yeah.
So,
but what's good with that is the fact that he's coming up with his own technology, and I think he's using a bit of sensibility and applying a little bit of don't break your own rules. So if something is a particular size, like the cryopod needs to be this big, then you can't do another cryopod which is half the size, with half the components. So he's obeying his own rules in his own universe as well. So it's very, very good stuff coming out of one of those models.
Well, the cryopod, I think, is because in reality, we would need probably some kind of cryopod to travel the great distances. But to think there is a conflict with an alien race at the same time for all these distances is quite fascinating, too. It's basically a war in slow motion is how I see it.
Yeah. But again, he's not just designing, it's easy enough to sort of say, oh, yeah, design your own ship and things like that. But he's doing things whereby he's designing what the screw nut looks like, what the, what the cables look like, he's paying a lot of attention to details going into making these models.
Right, and if you have your equipment takes up a certain amount of space, that means your ship needs to be a certain size.
Yeah.
You can't just make a fun, fancy little fast-moving ship because you want to.
Yeah, he's doing form for function.
Yeah. There's no magic technology to make everything fit.
Yeah, and that's what makes it look like with the hover bike. It's going to take a lot of power and a lot of technology to make that thing float.
Yeah.
So the bike, whereas you could make it look really small, what he's done is gone right then, because of the method of how much power it's going to take. It's going to take a large engine to produce this effect. So the front of the bike is quite chunky, So and that's brilliant.
I still think he needs a kickstand. He needs resting. He needs something for it to land on when it's resting and not working and not on.
Yeah, and he needs he needs sort of like little legs just to come so he can sit down.
Yeah.
All right, can't be anti-gravity all the time.
No, it has to be off at some point.
Well, it is a fictional world, but we don't know what the technology consists of. But you're right. Neil has approached the models and the whole concept in a very reasonable and logical path. Because that's what you're saying. It needs a kickstand because that would be the logical path based on what Neil is doing. I'd like to at one time, and if Neil, if you're watching, it'd be great to do something with, have you come back on the air, one of the Hangouts, particularly across the pond, like you did last year, and when you started up the whole business of your model company and your concept, because a lot has changed since then. You've done a lot of good work, and so that's just to say that we want you on if you're watching. I don't know. I can contact you. I can always email you, but anyway, I just came to mind that would be a good idea to do.
Oh, he's forgotten all about us now. He's rich and famous.
Sort of like you, Lou. But you're much more humble, of course. But the thing about Neil's a nice guy too. He's a very, very kind, and he's I call him an old soul because he's learned his lessons before actually experiencing them. That's how I feel. I feel like a young soul next to him. But anyway, That's just a philosophy that we won't get into. Let's see. There is Doug at the home bar. That's a long title. He did these videos of, well, basically he put a GoPro camera on a model train. Have you seen this stuff?
Oh yeah. When it goes around his lounge.
Yeah, I can't really screen share it because let's see if I can screen share something of it on our community. This is scroll down a little far, and of course my computer is trying to bring up the. There it is. Can you see the picture?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here comes a train. This is really. Oh, jeez. Let's go back to this. This is. You guys watched through this? Did you guys look through this?
Yeah, I've seen some of it. Yeah.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yep.
I thought it was an actual railway line somewhere. When I first seen the you know the way when you're connected to your Wi-Fi and everything, the video automatically runs on whatever tablet or phone you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I thought it was an actual layout, and I thought, what's that got to do with modeling? But then it dawned on me when I read it, it was a model railroad layout, and I thought that was just amazing.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. It just feels so real to watch this. Okay, stop that noise. Okay, but that's what modeling about is fooling us to think that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
That's attention to detail.
Yeah.
Very much attention to details, and the scale railroaders have their own community, and we invite them just the same. Isn't that true, guys?
Yeah, we haven't got many scale railroaders on the community.
No, not really. But that was refreshing, is my point, and I'd like to see more of what they do, because quite frankly, the majority of that model genre is diorama building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's practically the whole thing, actually.
And when you consider as well that this community is 85 members away from 2,000 members.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We haven't. Now that I got it up, you're right. It's 1891 or 95. Let's see.
Give or take 100 prostitutes.
Not 95. 1915. You're correct.
Yeah.
85. Yeah. Very much so. It was like we had a big decrease in membership a couple weeks ago. Liam said he deleted all these exclamation points. I don't know how those got onto they get onto the community, but today I had to delete I think four pornography.
Well, that's why people are leaving now.
If you guys would see how I see it, it's basically somebody in China is doing this, and they're using very proper English. He's saying, women like to feel sexy, and they like sexy lingerie. You know, I don't spell it right either. And it's just kind of funny. And then they got
Chinese spelling of French word.
Yeah, and they got these pictures of insertions and stuff. It's like, oh, wonderful. It's wonderful being a moderator of a community. You get to see all kinds of stuff.
I think the word model is what's throwing them off.
I think so. I think so. And Ken Skivington, where are you? Because I invited you.
Oh, he's up to his eyeballs in plastic chips right now.
He just posted. What did he post here? A car.
I thought it was that the Eagle landing bay he did.
Oh, that Eagle landing bay is fantastic for the 12-inch Eagle.
Yeah.
But he just posted this, and I do not believe
a single block of wood.
Yeah. Is it really?
No.
I don't think there's anything in Ken Skivington's experience that will be considered out of his comfort zone.
No, the guy can do everything. He makes me mad.
He pisses me off is that because he farts and there's a model, but my farts stink.
As I say, he sneezed those models out, and it was.
Well, jealousy and envy will get you nowhere.
They're kind of their own end,
Scholars, you'll be arguing as to which nostril he sneezed which model out of.
Oh, one came out of each.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then that Eagle landing pad that he
I
done
love him
was
to death, but he
brilliant.
makes me mad.
Yeah.
I am trying to find it. I think he did post it on a community. I'm trying to find it. But,
It was yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
was it? Was it? You know what? With name changeover, we had attracted many awesome modelers. They're freaking amazing, and there's plenty of them too to learn from. Where is it? No, it's yesterday. Did you say?
Yeah.
Just click on Ken Skivington.
Yeah, with my computer, that's going to be a mistake. Oh, I'm not seeing it. All right, let's try Ken Skiffington. Pooh, right there. And talk amongst yourself as my computer struggles to load this.
You need little on-hold music for this.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, please stand by. Get Jack in one of those test patterns.
Test patterns, yeah, that would work.
Yeah, because Ken also posted up the scratch builds of Huey, Dewey, and Louie from Silent Running as well.
Yeah.
I think he's got stock in a styrene company because he buys 8-foot by 4-foot sheets of the like plywood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, he scratch built the U.S. Palomino from the Black Hole.
Yep.
Oh, he did the Huey, Dewey, and Louie from Silent Running.
Where are you seeing all this? Please show me.
Oh, sure. And here we go. What happened?
I don't know.
There, share.
Nothing.
There we go.
Oh yeah.
There we are.
Yep.
Yep. This is, I think, one of the fun things that he built that I like a lot. And he just says, "Oh, I look at pictures."
Yeah.
It's a genius, is what it is. That he can figure these things out proportionally and not waste very well. I said to him, "Do you waste a lot of styrene in doing these scratch builds?" He wouldn't answer me.
No, he's got a big box of scraps that he can go back into for things. Yeah.
He sends them back to the factory and remelts them down into more sheets.
Yeah, seriously. And there we go.
Wow.
Yep.
And he made all those little pieces. Of course, he probably had not cut the pieces, but he did certainly put all that grid work together.
I'm wondering whether or not the girder in there, it looks like you might have used something like, the tile spacers?
Huh?
For spacing tiles, when you put tiles on the wall, you put those little plastic spacers in.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I wonder if you used those.
It's a good question. Too bad he's not here to answer it.
Yeah.
We'll just make up an answer since he's not here.
Okay, I think I found what you brought up was it the 1999 launch pad?
Yep, for the 12-inch Eagle, yeah.
Okay.
So it's got to be about a 20-inch base.
Now he's got to be working on the 22-inch launch.
He is. He said he was.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's fantastic, and he's even got all the little windows in. It looks fantastic with the lights on as well. When I first saw it, I thought, "There's no way he's actually made that elevator pad work."
Whereas now he's working on an in-scale rest of the base, which he should have done next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. It's
All lit up too.
Yep.
Wow.
Even the Eagle.
Wow.
Yeah, Randy Newbert done the paint for it.
He must have a warehouse with all this stuff in it.
It's got to be tough to struggle not having any talent like that.
Yeah, sort of like the freak shows of the old circuses.
How does it?
Yeah, I don't know how he does it either, but he's just, I think we can all agree on that. Too bad he's not here. He said he was going to watch or at least be here, but
Yeah.
long and short of it, boy, we killed another hour of skill
Yeah.
modeling.
That's another hour shot to hell. Good morning.
Another hour I won't get back.
Oh, we're all richer for it.
Yeah.
But if this is your first time joining us on this Hangout and want to explore and learn more about the hobby of scale modeling, you can. I'm not saying it because I'm running it. I should say facilitating the show. I think the stars are everybody who participates in the community. You can learn everything from them, and it's a fun hobby, and I learned so much about history too, because a lot of the stuff we build are hysterical type of stuff. Yeah, so go to my channel at Scratch and Jack on Google Plus and perhaps on the YouTube, and a thumbs up to like. If it's a thumbs down, it shows you the kind of person you are. Anyway, if you want, subscribe and also pay attention. Look out for any other future Hangouts. We're going to have one tomorrow for the Sunday Hangout, and a couple of weeks later we'll have another edition of the Cross the Pond Hangout. Thanks for joining us. Happy modeling, everyone, and good day.
Good day.
Hey.